So today we are going through the number 3 lecture. We're going to have a quick introduce about TurboTax software and quickly go through the assignment 1, case number 1, and we'll have a basic introduce of those T or slips. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go to My Campus. And then when you are in the course page, we could go through down to session 6. So this is the section that we have a basic introduction for TurboTax. They have introduction for you to register your TurboTax and how are you going to register, and there's some helpful videos you can watch. It's basically regarding how you're going to do your taxes. So I'm going to quickly go through on how to do a register in TurboTax. So I'm going to quickly click into TurboTax web page. So you will need to, okay, I'm not going to go there. Change to another way. So when I get into this first session, Introduction to Registerable Tax, I will quickly copy that top part. Then, so get in. So you're in your page and to see the free or you want to purchase. So we're going to go for the free. So the file for 0. And we'll let you to create your account. So you enter your school email and confirm email, then put the user ID, your phone number, password, and you have a security question. Now for me, because I already had an account, and yeah, so this is my username and password. I just quickly click in. So this will be the one that bring me to the TurboTax page. So if you have remembered that we went through profile, right? Profile, because mine is desktop. So when I open the profile, the very first page we'll see is the introduction page, which is including your basic information, your name, social insurance number, date of birth, and if you're getting married or not, and if you want to submit your personal information to the Syria government. So TurboTaxes or other tax software you're going to use for your course is exactly the same. Now for me, I just want a quick show. I didn't do anything on that, so I just created my account. But I could start a new tax return. So this will bring me to I will do my taxes because it's for free. I'll just click on that. How do you do your tax last year? I'm finding for other tax software where you can, this is just a basic survey. Welcome. So thank you. Oh, I need to choose myself. What's my first name? CJ. So I continue. You were single, married, because this marital status will change your tax return. Remember when we do the profile, you have to choose if you're personal or if you have spouse. If you choose married, then it will automatically create a spouse tax return for you. So you can enter all the information, you can file both together. Or you could state as married, but because if your spouse is working, has income, you do not want to claim the spouse credit for full. If your spouse didn't working at all for the last year, then he or his total income will be 0, right? So if he or she's income is 0, going to affect the spouse credit, which I had a YouTube videos I posted in My Campus. So this credit will be decreased when your spouse's net income increase. So if there's non-income 0, you have to put a 0 into the information section if you click married. Okay. So for me, I want to quickly go through, just have a very simple tax return as we did when we used the profile. What's that for John, is it? What I want to do is for Johnny. So I just quickly click single. And did your marital status change in 2021? No, because the date your marital changes, for example, if you get married in the middle of 2021, then your spouse credit will be calculated for half of the year. Okay, so that's why they need to know that if you're married, if you get married last year, if you get divorced, if you're widowed, or if you're single, okay, or common law, those are all going to change your tax status. Do you have children or financial support another person? For our examples, there's a no. If you do have a children, you click yes, then you need to fill in the dependent information. Okay. So your data is protected. My name, the last name, I put 10. Birthday, I put 01, 1990. Source number, 000. Oh, I don't have to put my name, right? I have Johnny. So I could put Johnny. That is the one I'm going to do. And the last name is Carson. S-O-N-N. Birthday, I don't know. So I just put whatever it shows you. If you're going to do your assignments, they're supposed to give you some basic personal information. If you get married, if they're single, the birth of date, their social security number. Okay. So just follow whatever the question gives you. 589. Now prefer English. I can choose English. And are you filing for income tax return as the first time? No, because if you are doing it for the first time, you cannot do e-file, which means you cannot send directly through the computer. You have to print it out and then paper file, or you can either get the manual or the package from your local post office or your local Canada Revenue Agency. So you could find those manual file. I will show you for the next video on how to do a manual file. So this is no. So the CRA has received my tax return before, and there should be an access code, which you could see your tax return online in your CRA website. If the access code is not received like immediately, when you request for a access code from the CRA, you will need to send a request through the CRA website and then wait for 1 or 2 weeks. They will have to mail to you. Okay, so that is how you get your access code. But for myself, I create a CRA website, a personal account, which is you can either use your financial institution. So you can choose your username or password, or you could use one of your bank information to log in because it's very personal. Okay, so there are so many different ways. I see if I can show you how to do that for next video. So are you a Canadian citizen? I could yes, then you will have the same thing for a profile. It will show you if you want to submit your information for election purpose. Okay, so if you want to open or provide your personal information to the Election Canada, then they will send you the voting information by mail. Okay, so I can say yes. Are you a Canadian Indian as defined in the Indian Act? I say no. It's a very special tax treaty. So if you are Indian or First Nations, you will receive a different credit than the rest of the people. So that's why they always ask if you are Canadian Indian. Series Net File Service accepts prior returns starting with 2018. You need to file your 2018, 2019, or 2020 tax return. No. If you do need to file your previous tax return, you could click yes. Then the system will create a previous tax return for you. Then you could choose for which year you need to do. But this is for the basic information you wanted to know. Now, where did you live at the end of the year? This is a very interesting question because for my examples, it's from Ontario. So I choose Ontario. Now, if you are working, for example, in Alberta, but your home is in Ontario, December 31st, 2021 will be the date to define which province you work. So you can see that you work from January to December 1st. By December 31st, 2021, you work January to December 1st, 2021 in Alberta. Then you're supposed to apply for the Alberta taxes. No, you have to see if you were in Alberta or Ontario on December 31st, 2021. So always remember, where are you in the last date of the last year? Okay, so the last date is the most important time that you need to remember. Now, did you move from another province in 2021? I just click, yeah, no, because this is a simple tax return. If for your personal tax return, if you will see that you moved for study reasons because you need to move to a nearer place to go to school, or if you need to move because your work changed, you move to the place that close to your working place. For example, in Alberta, there are quite a few oil and gas field jobs required people remote to for Mac. So if you, because of the job requirement, and then you decide to move to Fort Mac from Calgary, then you could claim the moving expenses because you moved from one place to another, whichever is closer to your new working place. Okay, so that's why they always ask if you ever moved during the year. The next question, did your Canadian residence change in 2021? You can say no, or this question is based on people move into Canada with a permit, a work permit, study permit, but your social insurance number when you just first came to Canada will start with 9. That means you're not Canadian citizen or permanent residence. When your status changed, your social insurance number is supposed to change to start with 6. So that is a big change. CRA will want to record it if your residence has changed during the year. Okay, so let's get to your contact information. Is your mailing address outside Canada? No, so we have to put into the mailing address. I do not have the mailing address, unfortunately. So I just enter whatever I have in there. So I could see street address 2020 Smith Street. City is Ontario. Now province, city. Is there any town? Let's put. So postcode, we'll see M4A 1A1. Okay. So what's your phone number? I put 123 6 7 8 9. Now the mailing address was where I currently live. Do you change your mailing address this year? No. You want to make sure that you receive all the important contact information from the CRA, because sometimes if you choose the paper, send it away, like a notice of assessment or their GST rebate or universal child tax benefit, RC62, all the important slips you have been received. So that's why you want to make sure your mailing address is current. It's not right. Yeah, I have to have my phone number then. Okay, so your personal information, they will always give you overview. So Johnny Carson was my social insurance number, date of birth, and I have no dependent, province of residence. If you click yes for dependent, then your dependent information will show. They will have your they have dependent's first name, last name, date of birth, and marital status as well. Now, Canadian state residence, yes, one is submitted to the one submit to Canada for inaction, right? Mailing address is phone number to make sure that everything is correct. Then if it's correct, we'll just click continue. What is new to tax this year? They'll show you that if you ever claim for COVID-19 benefit, then you will receive a T4E or T4A. T4E, we're going to talk about slips later, but T4E, basically, if you are living, like if you lose your job, you receive the EI from the government, and at the end of the year, you will receive T4E. Or if you have mat leave or parental leave, you are also going to receive T4E. CRB, CRB, CRCB, or CRSB, those are all related to the COVID-19 benefits repayment. That's what you receive T4A regarding all payments you received. Okay. Work from home expenses, there's T777 or T777S. The differences between is one, you're going to using basic rate for like $2 per day, I believe. Then you could just simply claim your tax return, or if you keep all the receipts, see there's some supplies that you need to purchase by yourself, and your government or your managers, they approved your expenses spending, then that's we'll talk about those expenses you can claim. But your manager or HR managers, you need to sign the form in order for you to claim your employment expenses for detailed method. Okay. Provincial COVID-19 assistance, those are one-time provincial payment that no taxable, so you do not need to report it into your tax return. Tax law change, there are quite a different law change, but it won't affect your tax return. So if you're interested, you could just read through definitely. Okay, how provincial tax change based on your provincial residence. Now this is Ontario because I choose the Ontario one, this example. Those are the provincial tax changes based on the province. The senior home safety tax credit has been changed. Childcare access relief for expenses tax credit. Temporary Ontario jobs retraining tax credit. Oh, this is a good one though. Now, Ontario training tax credit or federal fuel charge proceeds. So those are different changes. They will have an overview for 2021. Let's build your tax profile. So this is the place that you are going to start your tax return. Okay. Now, what do you need to do? Do you work in 2021? Yes. So I'll show you if you're employed, you're self-employed, you're unemployed, or there's work compensations you're being received, where there's no T4, but you receive the cash you're going to claim by yourself, or participate in the work training program. So for Johnny is T4. So he received T4 slips. He also a student. So he had a T202 for tuition. Do you have expenses related to your employment? No, because those are basically for commission people. Right? If you are a not a salaried, but you're a commission-based people, then you will receive your T4. In the meantime, you are going to have all the receipts connected to claim. For example, the automobile expenses for the car use, the gasoline, or their office supplies if you're working for a consulting business. Now, those are kind of things that you need to keep in mind, that those expenses you could claim, but with your employer's signature, of course. And then when you claim all those business or your work-related expenses, then you have to keep all the receipts. You know that all the receipts or your tax return or notice of assessment, all those papers you have to keep for over 7 years, because the CRA can go back to 7 years to audit you. Now, so I'm not Johnny was not self-employment, or those not working for him. Receive tips, that's a different one. If you work for a restaurant, the tips will work for, the cash rate that are not shown in your T4. But you need to claim under your total income, like other income. There's always been a sign as the other income that you just put in there as the cash. Do you have other income that you have not yet told us yet? No. Okay. Or Johnny, do your spouse or rest receive split income? No. Pension split is a different income type, which is between a spouse. So you could, if one spouse didn't work at all and the other spouse working, receive the pension income, they could do a split income to leverage the income taxes need to pay, but it only works for the pension income. It's not working for your T4 slips or whatever the other incomes. So that is a very special topic for split income, pension split income. Johnny, did you make a contribution to RSP? For our examples, I say no. If you do, for real cases, if you do receive if you contribute for RSP during the year, or for some of the companies, the employer contributes to RSP or match your RSP contribution, then you will receive the RSP contribution slips, and that will be the one you need to enter information under RSP file. Okay, Johnny, did you withdraw money from a retirement account or receive retirement type income? No. So from our case, it's a very simple, straight one. So there's no withdraw money, but it might happen if you're first home buyer. If you're first time home buyer, the government allowed you to withdraw money from your RSP account, right? But you need to repay it back within the 7 years. So this is that question. Do you need to make a repayment to the home buyer plan? No. If you do, then you need to click yes. They will give you the calculation of how much money you need to repay per year and how much money you owe. The money you didn't pay will automatically added into your total income. So the money you need to pay back to your home buyer plan will add back to your net income. You're going to charge you will be charged income taxes. Do you have income from investment, such as interest earned on investment? This investment income you will receive a T5. Okay, so the T5 is based on what kind of investment you do. If you're doing SPACs or stocks or like currency transactions, all those income will be reported in the T5 investment slips. We're going to talk about slips a little later. So Jenna, what happened to you? Students, were you a student in 2001? Yes, because for our case, we did a profile. There's a T2202, tuition and enrollment certificate. Okay? You can claim your student fee or books credit. Now, so Johnny did receive a T2202. So I click tuition fee on the T2202. See, if I had another tuition fee like training fee, you still can claim, but you need to have a receipt on hand. Took course over the internet. These are so many different categories because this is a new one. We didn't have that one before. You can claim cost of a certain courses that you take online over the internet. Yeah, so remember, even though you're not sure about each of those categories, you can always click on it and take a look at. So this is like learn more, which means you could read more information regarding the cost you can claim if you took the course over the internet. If you didn't receive T2202, that was me. Because if you receive T2202, even though for our school right now, if you took the course online, but you're still going to receive your T2202, that is your tax credit for all the tuition fee you have been paid. So it's different. Now, your home and other property, did you have moving expenses? No. Did you buy a house, condo, apartment, or mobile this year? No. So this is a home buyer amount. That's what we talk about it. First home buyer plan that you could withdraw money from your RSP account, right? And then you need to repay back within the 7 years. And each year, those repayment amount will be added into your net income. Now, Johnny, did you own or hold specific foreign property that over $100,000? No. So that is foreign properties. Everyone has a foreign property in another country that is over $100,000. So you need to claim. Johnny, did you have any losses from the year prior to report? No. The capital losses that can be carried forward from the previous years. But the capital losses, remember that capital losses only apply to capital gain. So for example, if you do have Johnny had capital losses from the previous years, but unfortunately for current years, he didn't make any capital gain. Then those capital losses just keep carrying forward for the next year. But for some reason, Johnny had made a very successful investment. So for this year, he made money. He made capital gain, 50% of the total money they own, right? Remember that if I have posted a video for capital gain, capital loss. So the 50% will be charged for income taxes. And then the capital loss can be carried forward to work on the capital gain, apply to the capital gain, to decrease the income taxes Johnny needs to pay. So that is why they ask you if there's any losses. Johnny, did you dispose of property in 2020? No. So this is like a property, basically regarding your principal residence disposition. So that is a different rules. Johnny, do you have eligible expenses qualifier for home excess tax credit? No. So for different provinces, the question might slightly change a little bit because the home accessibility tax credit didn't work for Alberta. I didn't see this tax credit, but it does work for Ontario residents. Other credit deduction, did you make donation to charitable? No. If you do make donations, then you need to have a charitable donation receipts. You have to keep the receipts because you will get a credit from it. We're going to talk about that later. Johnny, other deductions such as due to new subscription, public transit, union dues, or professional dues, no. You could claim union dues, professional dues. If you're CPA, the money you pay over $2,000 per year, you could claim it on your tax return as a union due, 15% of it. Okay. Johnny, were you a volunteer firefighter? No, because volunteer firefighter, you will receive a credit as well, but you have to work more than 7 months per year as a volunteer firefighter or rescue firefighter, rescue volunteer. Did you have a mental physical impairment? No, because that's will closely relate to your disability credit. Okay. Johnny, do you have medical expenses for yourself? No. Okay. Johnny, did you make any tax installment payment for 2021? So tax installment payment, I was posted into my campus. You should have a videos regarding that tax installment payment. This is a 3 different calculations on how much the people need to pay. It totally depends on your previous experiences. If you've been owing money, Johnny be owing money for the last 2 years, then he's supposed to make installment payment for the current years because that there is a high possibility that he owes money, right? So that's why they will always ask you, did you make tax installment payment for 2021? Because if the previous 2 years you owe money, you need to make it pay back, but not everybody has spare money to pay back all the income taxes at one time. Sometimes people owe over $10,000, right? $10,000, right? So the government will all calculate it based on the calculations we talk about it in our video for installment payment. So the CRA will, based on the information, do the calculation and send it over to Johnny in his residence mailing address and ask them to make the payment quarterly. Okay, so quarterly payment for tax installment payment, but you do not have to remember all those, right? Just have a basic idea. Johnny, were you carried it in prison or in a similar situation 2021? No. Now continue. Then what we need to do. Tax file summary. So those are related to Johnny's tax return. The next step, we should go with T4, info available from CRA. Okay, I'm gonna skip. So this is the form that you're gonna create a CRA My account. Since we're in here, just see. How do I register for CRA My Account service? So this is the one that you want to watch. It's going to be super quick, I think, for a few minutes. That it requires you to verify your identity with the CRA. If you're the first time filing, I think you will ask for a access code. That is the code you will receive it from CRA by mail, probably in 1 to 2 weeks. CRA service hours, 9 to 5. I could memorize that numbers. If you ever have a question to ask for CRA, 1-800-959-8281, press 1, press star. Then you can talk to a real agent. Interesting. I've been working for that phone number like 15 years ago, but I still can remember. So 1-800-959-8281. Then you can reach the CRA service. They only work from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But you need your social insurance number, your date of birth, copy of your tax return. All right, you need to submit it. Now, then you could create a My account that you can see all your notice of assessment, your previous tax return, and if the CRA had communicated with you, if they require more information regarding your employment expenses, then they could just simply post that requirement into your My account. Then you could see it. Right now, let's enter the rest of your tax info. Then what I need to, Oh my God, no. So note that you're done with your tax file. Now I have to do T4, right? So this is my T4 slips, Johnny's T4 slips. I need to enter employer's name, like profile, because this is the examples I've been using from profile. Now, and the province of Ontario, at box 14, I have $9,000. Box 16, I have 28050. Box 18 is EI 145.80. And then 22 is very important. It's the income taxes payable. So 900. And 24 is 9,000. 26 is 9,000. Those are just numbers. This is just a principal earnings. You need those numbers to calculate your how much CPP you need to contribute it. And then the EI server earnings is also the numbers you have to based on to calculate your EI premium. Okay, so that's why it shows up in your T4 slips. But I think that's it. So that is his T4. So you're gonna continue. It was so easy, right? Oh. Bit different. No. Each file, like software, tax return software is a bit different. So T4 is down. Now I need to looking for tuition one. Down with T4 slips. Here's your income summary. Continue. It should automatically. It will let you to do RSP calculations. We do not have RSP calculator. You must enter RSP. So RSP limit, it will show you how much RSP you could contribute for the current year. You could have till March the 1st, 2020, the current year to make the contribution. So you have actually two different slips if you ever contributed in a different time. First slips will show from April to December, another slips will show January to March. Right? Sometimes you have to take a look at carefully on the year of contribution. So before March the 1st, if the person ever contributed their RSP, you need to enter it in. But this is the tool to calculate your limit, but you do receive your RSP limit every year from the CRA. It will list it into your notice of assessment. Continue without RSP. So we do not have RSP. We should have deductions. See T2 to O2 deductions. Okay, so this is a T2 to O2, which is related to your tuition. Okay, so we enter the name of the education profile. 2021. Very important. Eligible tuition boxes, like the total money you pay, you need to enter it in. I have, let's see, so total money I've been paid 7616. Then they need to enter how many months. So this is a full time. I cannot see it. The snips is not very clean, but assuming number of months is for full time, so I put 8 months. Okay. Charitable donations is in there as well, but there's no charitable donations. Then if it's part-time, you put in part-time month, but it will show in your T202. Okay, so T202 will show the years of your attending the school, your name, education's information, and then the month from which year and month to which year and a month, that for how many total months is full-time or part-time, and the total tuition fee you've been paid. So that is how you enter the tuition fee. Now that's just basically everything. Training limit. It should show fine in your last year total self-assessment. So there's nothing for Johnny. Do you want to claim training credit? No. Now, so this is student summary. They had a total tuition fee paid for last year, 2021, was over $7,000. And keep continue. deduction summary will show you what's your total income, how much income tax, so they showed you taxable income and then calculate a non-refundable tax credit, then your federal non-refundable credit, and then they showed refundable tax credit, so nothing. Then total tax deducted 900, total refundable tax credit 903. So that is basically a summary. That is the one we have showed from a profile like T1 summary. So keep going. Oh, now we'll move on to the provincial, but there's nothing we need to enter for Johnny. Okay. So continue. You may qualify 2020 Ontario Chilean benefit. We've been not told from our question, so we do not need to do. Remain to your principal residence. Apply for 2022 Ontario. No. Climate action. I'll click yes. Or I'll continue. Now, because I do not have any other slips need to enter the end, they'll just show you a summary of your Johnny's provincial tax credit and tax payable. Now I want to show you the T1 summary, which means everything has been done. Now, before you submit it or before the summary has been calculated. So this is 90360 is total refund. That exactly the same number as we did from the profile tax return file. Okay. I want to see the T1 summary. We just have lots of advertisement. Now this is the number. And so it's kind of like a T1 summary. Total income, expenses from tax income, your taxable income, and then total income tax has been paid. And this is your tax refund. So this is the CRA account, print or mail. That's it. I think that's it, but I want to see if I could see T1 summary. Yeah, interesting. There's no T1 summary shows. But that's it you have down. But what I want to show you is when you do your assignments or your cases, I only need summary. Anything. I only wanted to see the summary, like the total income shows your total income, total tax payable, and then if you get a refund or no, or you need to pay income taxes back. So that's only 1/4 I need to see. But how come TurboTax didn't show the summary? Income summary, no. Should be a T1. Resources, expenses. Why this is different? Tax instrument, TL11, T-slip situation, volunteer warning. I'll see what happened. Almost there. All the hard work is a session to review tax order and file your tax return. Do you, yeah, I guess I have to review final copy. You have to move to the final steps so that you're able to send your income, your work. Okay, so here, when you finish all the steps, you enter all the slips, and then you will see file your return. You click start. Okay, so this is another reminder saying that if you wanted to register through CRA My Account, if you ever haven't had a CRA My Account, then you will maybe wanted to register from here by saying, no, I don't want to. Now, so this is the one that I don't want to net file my return, then print and mail your return. Now, of your federal, this is the copy. Okay, so I just quickly download it. Open the file. There you go. So this is a T1 general I need. Now, till very end of the last steps, you will see that you could review your income taxes, right? Choose print and mail your return, and then open a PDF. This is the file. So this is the file. I'm still recording, right? Okay. So this is the file, the T1 general that you need to submit for all your assignments, cases, and assignment number 2 and your final exam. Okay, there are only 5 pages or 4 pages that you need to submit. Okay, very important. This is the one that you need to submit for marking. I think that is for TurboTax. I will quickly go through some tax slips with you, so you have a better idea on what are those slips and where you can find those slips. So under the CRA website, you could find this website from the CRA, Canada.com, Revenue Agency. Now you always type in there. So tax slips, you will see all the slips. T4, there's T4 slips. T4 slips is basically a document to summarize all the money is paid by employer to employee. Okay, so how do you get your T4? You could, the employer is supposed to send all the T4 slips by end of February. And then you need to file and then the employees need to file their tax return before April 30th. But I see this year changed to May the 2nd or May the 3rd because it's Saturday. Yeah, sometimes it's slightly changed a little bit. But T4, then the T4, we have seen one of the examples. The T4 will show the social insurance number, employment. The very important is box 14 to shows the employment income. Let's see if I could find examples. Yeah, so all those listed, each of the detail. Here. So this is a T4 slip. You will see that under 14, this one very important is the total income received. 22 is the total taxes need to pay. 16 basically CPP contributions. 17 is a CPP CPP contributions as well. 18 is the EI premium. So those are the 4 very important boxes you want to keep in continuous. To make the things a little bit complicated is there's a union due sometimes being held by your employer. So there's union due. If you do have a union due shown there, 46. If they're charitable donations, the employer charged, like not charged, the employer hold it or connected from the employees, it will show in under box 46. Yeah, I think that's it for the T4 slips. And then there's T4A slips. T4A slips is like a pension or all those benefits being received during the COVID-19. It will show in your T4A. So very similar T4A, it shows the pension, retirement, or other incomes. There's there's a social insurance number shows and the program account number. And also there's a total money or supplement to be received and the lump sum payment on the boxes or income tax deducted. 22 is always being the income tax deducted because you need to know how much income tax has been already charged, right? And then it will lead you to the end of the year that if you need to pay back more income taxes or you're gonna get a refund from the government. So this is T4A slips. We do have other one. See if there is a T4E or something. There's T4A. So T4A is the different as old age security. When people turns 65 and over, they will receive this T4A. Similar to the other form, it shows your taxable pension paid, your gross pension paid, overpayment recovered, or income tax deducted. Very important for income tax deducted, right? Because you need the number. So you have to make sure that all the number shows in your slips is correct and the number you enter into the software to do the tax return is correct. Now there's also T4E. T4E slips as the one we said before. It shows if they're mat leave or marital or parental leave, or they're anything related to your employment insurance has been paid out. So that is T4E slips. There's a number 7, there's a repayment rate. This boxes shows a rate of 30%. Then we just simply complete the repayment. But normally they just showed you when you receive the slips, when you take, if you ever receive T4E, you will see that there's always listed as a 30%. Now, 14 is the total benefits have been paid. 15 is if there are other regular benefits have been paid, this month should be included in the amount showing in box 14. So the numbers in box 15 will not affect your total benefits received. And then there's also 22 with income tax deducted. Right, income tax deducted. So that's this T4E slips. What else I want to show? T4E, getting your T4E. RIF, retirement income fund, which you get your money from the retirement income when people turn 65. T4 RSP, filing the T4 RSP statement. So that is statement of RSP income. The image looks like that. The cost associated with the redeemed units of remitted funds RSP expenses. So if you receive T4 RSP, that is the net amount paid out to of the RSP. So just watch out for the boxes. You get the box 12 with social insurance number, get contract numbers, RSP contract numbers, or RSP's names, address, the total years on each T4 RSP slips, or the count number with the annuity payment, the total amount, or box 18 was refund of premium. This is the amount that you paid from unmature RSP to the spouse or common law partner of the RSP annuitant, because the RSP annuitant died. Okay, so the person's passed away, and then the money has been withdrawn to pay the spouse. Or refund or of unused contribution. This is a gross amount of unused contribution refunded to the RSP. So there's no taxes withheld from the withdrawal if the person, which is annuitant, asks for a refund of the unused contribution. Now there's box 22. It's also related to the withdrawal and commutation payments. T4 RSP, basically when I see this form is received for people who over 65 years old. If they withdraw money from their account, they do receive this T4 RSP from the government. The last one, I think, yeah, so T202, you already see that, right? Institution T5 slips is the one we talk about for investment. Okay, I'll quickly see. from my notes if I want to do that. T4 with, what else? I don't have anything, but I'll just quickly show the T4, T5. T5 is the investment. So you have your total year. Also, you will see that how much money you have been make or the interest from the Canadian resources, like how much capital gain you have received, or those kind of informations. So T45 is based on stocks purchase or stocks options that you should see. T5007 is a works compensation for as a statement of benefits. That is basically normally the things you always need to see. It shows the year, the works compensation benefits, a social assistance payment, total amount, right? Then that's it. So basically the total year and the total amount you need to take care of it. So that is all the basic slips you always need to see. And then I showed you how to do a TurboTaxes for a simple tax return. Then you need to print out, receive this T1 general PDF file on your desktop and then submit it for marking for your assignments and case. The case is kind of a little bit different, the case study, because case study will do a manual return. Now I just quickly, no, I'm going to record another video for a manual return. Okay, see, that's it for today.